Hello and welcome back to the GorillaBiker, and today myself and Toaster, we're actually just after completing our hike and we're about to ride home, but I'll just show you the hike at the end of the video. This is the cliffs of the Neuse State Park. You ready? You ready? Oh, let's go. And yeah, we just had a nice hike here. And for the angry gentleman who once said that a hike needs to be of a certain distance, I'm sure this one maybe counts, you know, as 6.5 kilometers or something. Yeah, Toaster says yes. And yeah, it was very nice. It wasn't too hot. Well, my bike's lying to me right now, so we'll wait till we're moving and everything heats up to the proper temperature. But it wasn't too hot. It's actually cooling down. But if you have any interest, you can either skip to the end of the video or wait till the end of the video and see some of the clips if you're interested in doing a hike here. I would recommend it. It's very pretty. Toaster, would you recommend it here? She says yes. So yeah, other than that, there's a couple of things I want to talk about as per usual while we move, but I won't talk for very long because I want to save some time to show you the cliffs of the Neuse Trail. Well, it's multiple trails. It's not called the Cliffs of the Neuse Trail, but I'll show you that when we get towards the end. I also think we're going to pass by a cool place that we passed on the way here called Cherry Hospital. It looks like some form of, I'm guessing it was military at some point, or maybe it still is military because all the buildings are very similar. Some of them are kind of dilapidated, run down or whatever. But it's really cool. I'd like to learn the history and then go back and do a video on it, so that might be something I will do. You ready? Well, yeah, this might be the start of something magnificent called Bike and Hike, you know? Be a nice fun series. So one thing you'll notice around here is this is like proper eastern NC. It's very flat. Lots of farm stuff over here, and yeah, it's very flat. But there might be some pretty things on the way that I'll dip in and out and try to show you the kind of the cooler spots that we pass as we're moving, because I know some people really like, oh, that's cool. So as we move, I was going to put a camera on Toaster's bike this time as well, but I actually forgot to bring the mount that I meant to bring, so not this time, but next time we will get something on her bike, so you get a new viewpoint as well. Toaster just asked me, you probably will see it on the camera, but there was a camper, or was it a trailer, like a tow behind trailer or a fixed trailer? Alright, well, a trailer of some kind and a big truck and a small garage with lots of land around it. And yes, honestly, yes, that would be amazing. I don't need a house. Actually, there's something for you. There's another topic for the video. See, Toaster's just full of good ideas that she doesn't even know about, you know? What would you prioritize? Me, I've never really wanted a big house, ever. I would rather have, like, funds available to travel with and buy bikes with and stuff. But yeah, there you go. There's a question for everyone to answer in the comments. Like, would you like a big house like that? Or would you like something smaller and like available workshop space and available land? Land and workshop space for me definitely more important, because like realistically, if you ask yourself if you like traveling, how much time you actually spend in your house, it's usually like, you know, making dinner, watching a bit of TV, and then going to bed. Like, I don't think we spend that much leisure time in our house, really, do we, Toaster? Yeah, but that's what I mean, like, and just, it's evenings only, like, we don't, you know, if we're taking a holiday or a vacation, as the Americans call it, like, we go somewhere, you know? Yeah, so, I mean, this probably also will play into, you know, do you have kids or whatever. I'm sure if you have kids, the answer would change massively, but, like, we don't have any children, so, you know, for other people who don't have any children, what would your answer be? Yeah, that's a good question. More of that. Oh, more cool cars. Oh, that was a freaking, what's it called? The Wagoneer. That's cool. Sad to see it rusting away there. I don't know if there's anyone else watch like a lot of car channels and stuff, but there's one channel I really like. His name is Build Season, and he actually restored a Wagoneer, so go give him a watch. He's a much bigger channel than me, but you know, I don't know how well known he would be around other circles. But he does some cool builds, and that's the name is Build Season. I don't know why they did that. Like, that's, to my right's corn. Like, that's corn, right, Toaster? But I've seen lots of fields like that just dead recently. I don't know why. I don't know what happened. Was it like... Maybe, but would you... I don't know. Yeah, let me know if you're in NC. Was that all like... Because that can't have all been handpicked. That's way too much. So why did they let it all die? Keep going, you're alright. And I can't remember, I'm sure someone in the comments, because people, like, I could actually teach people facts just by saying something slightly wrong forever, and someone will appear who's never seen a video before and then correct me, because that's, I think humans just love correcting people. But as far as I remember, aeons ago this was all underwater, which is why it's so flat. And then obviously, you know, Ice Age stuff happened and water receded. I believe that's why here is so flat. But like I said, someone's going to correct me, so I don't even need to go learn the facts, because someone will teach me. That's a shooting range in there, actually. My friends brought me there once. Yeah, it's a shooting range in there. Actually, I will address something. Someone made a really good point after the last video, which actually I remember when they said it, how I used to feel the same way when I was living in Ireland. You know, around the whole theoretical giveaway thing, and they said, you know, which they're right, they have a global audience. So was Stephen, by the way, one of the long-time commenters and watchers. And he said, you know, everyone outside of the US would probably feel left out, which is very true. So I think for now, I'll just stick to selling bikes privately and doing bike flips, and then maybe the benefit from that comes from the maintenance that I do, and hopefully people who own those bikes can actually, you know, learn from those videos, and that's how that's really cool. Oh, the old truck as well, gorgeous. I love that old barn too. But yeah, I think that's a very good point, and I'll probably stick with that. Here's another question for everyone, right? So while we were hiking in nature, listening to birds and other, you know, animals and whatnot, screeching about the place, someone walked past, and we let them pass just to like let them off into the distance so I didn't have to listen to it, but they were listening to like a really bad podcast. Like, the person's voice doing the podcast was annoying, and it also sounded like a really dull subject, and they were just walking on the trail with their phone absolutely blaring that podcast out. Is that something that you would find agreeable? Personally, I find it incredibly rude. Hello. That's a real brother right there, brother. Horses. I didn't see those ones earlier. Is that a donkey in the back? Oh, it is, a little donkey. The other thing that I wanted to talk about, and I think we're actually approaching the Cherry Hospital place, so I don't want to miss it. The thing I want to talk about is I put up a post yesterday, actually, in my timeline. Oh yeah, there you go, Cherry Hospital, I remembered correctly. And it was about how this particular model year bike is like insane value at the moment. I see them online around me for like $5,000, you know, like with really low mileage. And honestly, for what you get in a bike, that's, in my opinion, incredible. But that's not what the question's about. The question was about people saying, you know, oh, would you not want to upgrade for some of the more modern bits and pieces? But like, well, I'm not going to say, you know, the newest V-Stroms are, you know, it's not that they're not an improvement. So pretty. Like, look at the old stone bridges. I'm just going to pause. Old stone buildings. We're going right down here, Toaster, at the lights. But this place is really cool. So I'm definitely going to do a bit of research, and I'm going to come back here and make a video on this place. So don't get too upset that we're not stopping and looking today. We're going to come back, I promise. Because it is really cool. And, you know, maybe I won't be allowed walk up too close to things, but I'm going to walk up to the fence anyway. And, you know, if I get arrested and shot, we had a good run, you know. But yeah, this is a cool. So if you know anything about Cherry Hospital, let me know. And otherwise, I'm going to start doing a little bit of research. But, you know, and asking the locals around the place, because obviously I work with lots of people who grew up here. And there's a sign right there that I can come back to. Oh, open by the state Oh, okay, so this might be a kind of a weirder video when I come back here, but I definitely will come back. Do you want to spin around and go read it? Yeah, okay. Or you can come back with me for the video. But yeah, there's cows down there. So yeah, what Toaster just read, I'm gonna save. I don't want to spoil the main video, but it's probably not going to be a happy history. I'll put it that way. But I think it's actually a really pretty area. And I actually, like, other than the fact this looks like a prison, which is now even kind of more dark, that we know that. Yeah, but anyway, video coming on Cherry Hospital because it's cool and the history sounds. So that's now a medical treatment center. Neuro medical treatment center. So in there's a neuro medical treatment center. But the other piece of history that Toaster read, that's the bit that I'm going to research on and come back. But anywho, so the question around upgrading to one of the more modern V-Stroms, I honestly just don't see the value. Like, yeah, okay, I'd get like throttle by wire instead of like normal cables, and you know, that's debatable on if that's a good thing. Prepare thyself for overtaking, by the way. We're not staying behind this person. You know, you'd get cruise control and all that, which would be nice, don't get me wrong, but like the new one is like $18,000, I think. And I'll correct myself if I'm wrong. I'll put a photo up on screen. But whatever it is exorbitantly expensive when you can buy one of these with low mileage for like $5,000 and like make all the modifications that you might want to make it suit for you, and still only be like $8,000 in it. For me, it would make no sense. Like, this bike still rides exactly like it did when I bought it 2.5 years ago. It's still fun. It still carries all the weight I want it to carry. It has worn really, really, really well. Now, it doesn't have huge mileage. It only has 30,000 miles. And a lot of the mileage it does is relatively steady state. Like, I don't live in the mountains, unfortunately. But, you know, in saying that, I think if I did, it would be absolutely fine as well. We have a chance right here after this truck. Ready, steady, go. All right, okay. Oh, look, a red barn. Nice. But yeah, that's kind of, honestly, comes down to would I get rid of this bike for anything right now? No. I love this thing. I love riding it, whether it's for fun or whether it's for touring or just commuting. Like, the fact that I have those Hepco and Becker boxes on it that I can store literally everything in that I could ever want to store, there would just be no value in me changing, you know what I mean? Like, even, okay, I could keep the boxes and all that, but like, nothing is going to do anything so much better than this bike that it would make sense spending like $10,000+ Like, it wouldn't. And, you know, bearing in mind that those lower mileage models are going for $5,000. I mean, what's this now worth? Like, supposedly $4,500, which it's not. Like, I mean, if you comparatively to like used GSs and, you know, used other adventure bikes like Tiger 1200s and stuff, is this as outright fast or whatever as a Tiger 1200 or a GS and all that? No, I mean, it wasn't as expensive new. It was a relatively budget kind of ADV style bike new, but at the same time, from what they're capable of and how good quality these things are, I mean, this thing, literally nothing has aged on it. You know, all the maintenance is easy to do. I literally can't see myself getting rid of this for anything. Like, unless I win a heap of money. Actually, no, then I just keep this and buy another bike anyway. No, like, there is almost 0% chance of this bike going anywhere in the near or far future, just because it does everything I want it to do nigh on perfectly. If I was a little bit shorter, this bike would be perfect. Like, if I could shrink myself to 6'4", 6'3", I think this would be perfect. Because my leg angle, even with the tall seat, like, if I could get my knees lower, it would definitely help with like long distance comfort. But I mean, as it stands, like today, because everything's been slower paced, this has averaged 50.7 US mpg. Like, that is, it's sipping fuel. That's like at least 60 mpg UK, which is, can't remember off the top of my head, but it's like 5 point something maybe liters per 100 kilometers. I'd have to check and I'll put it on the screen. But you know, I always love those questions because it always gets me thinking, like, hey, would I? And then I'll go, like, I went and Googled how much modern V-Stroms are, like brand new V-Stroms are 2 to 3 years old, and While I do like a lot of the stuff they've done with the newer ones, and even the 800, like if I was going to get a new one, I'd probably size down to the 800 like that Hippo Drones has, because I think the 800 is just as capable as this, you know, from what it can produce, power and torque and all that. But I just don't think that, you know, I'll get like that sound and everything else. I don't know. I love this bike, and it has never once upset me, which is saying something. You know, I've never had a single issue with a touch wood. I'm sure there's wood fibers somewhere here on me. And also, I don't think it's going to do anything to upset me, because it's pretty easy to follow the maintenance schedule. You know, one thing that I do need to do coming up is change the wheel bearings, because they're 10 years old, 30,000 miles. And I mean, other than that, it should be fine. Like, and if stuff breaks, stuff breaks. I mean, I'm not stupid. Things on vehicles that you use break. But provided it's not something silly like the frame cracking in half or whatever else, I don't see it as being an issue. You know, this bike is really genuinely, it has been excellent, and I love it to pieces. And if you are looking for an adventure bike or a bigger, taller bike, like the deals out there to be had on these, yeah, would you maybe prefer something like a GS that you're going to spend 12,000+ on? Maybe. But if you're going to spend 12,000+, and then also you're probably going to have to bring it to a garage for certain things to get worked on, like the telelever front suspension and all that. Like, this is just standard upside down front forks, an easy to get to rear shock. Moosies. Where were they? I didn't see them. I was talking too much. No, I missed the moosies under a tree. But yeah, that's, I can't even remember what I was saying now. Oh yeah, the GS stuff. Like, you know, you're going to spend more on maintenance. You can do everything on this yourself. And I will have a valve check coming on this soon, because I did my first valve check at 17,000 miles. So my next one it's going to be slightly later than the recommended 60 or 30,000. It'll probably be at like 32, 33,000, because I'm going to wait till it cools down a bit, and I'm going to wait till after our upcoming trips, and then I'll check the valves, and they'll be fine until then. You know, they'll be fine until then, because they were, you know, I adjusted them the last time, so this time I probably won't even have to. But I'm going to show you how to, just in case. So yeah, hopefully that's somewhat interesting of a video. Obviously, after this, what we'll do is I'll transfer you to have a quick voiceover just around the cliffs of the Neuse, a little bit of history, a little bit of the trails that we're walking on. And yeah, you should go there. Let me know, are you somewhat local to here? Would you visit? It is a flatter park, but for how flat Eastern NC is, it is very pretty, and you do get, like, you know, those kind of low cliffs. Yeah, very, very worthwhile to visit, and definitely glad. This was Toaster's suggestion. Definitely glad we got out to do a bike and hike today. And also let me know, would you like to see the bike and hike become a series? So, the Cliffs of Neuse State Park. Just to cover first, the route we walk in this covers the Longleaf Trail, the Spanish Moss Trail, the 350-yard trail, the Bird Trail, and the Lake Trail. We did the whole loop that you should see on screen. Now, the park itself, and a lot of this history that you're about to hear is from NCpedia and other sources, people I've talked to and work and whatnot who are from the area. So the cliffs themselves were formed by a fault line, basically Earth's crust shifted, popped up an old cliffy poo. And from there, it was used by the Tuscarora and Saponi Indian tribes. The actual park itself is used to be a ceremonial ground for those tribes. Post the tribes' presence there, European settlers or colonizers, whichever way you want to look at it, they set up a trading centre at what was then called Whitehall. It's now a town called Seven Springs. That was the earliest colonizing / settling settlement in the area. The river itself is obviously very important because it does serve as a access point to the Atlantic, so it has always been important in the area. The park itself was actually formed in 1945 when I can't remember the gentleman's name, Lionel Wheel. I do remember it. I don't know, am I saying that right? But he was the one who proposed that it become a state park, and 1945 it was established as such. The whole park itself covers 892 acres, and it does contain Spanish moss, which is pretty cool, and hence the Spanish moss trail. Spanish moss is not actually moss, by the way. It's some form of plant. I can't remember the family, but yeah. So the river itself, like I said, very important. Gateway to the Pamlico Sound and Atlantic Ocean. And what's cool about the Neuse River, which runs alongside the cliffs of the Neuse, obviously, is that a Confederate Navy vessel got stranded in the Neuse. It was an ironclad, the CSS Neuse. It was actually beached or grounded around the Kinston area, and you can see a kind of reproduction of what the ironclad would have looked like in Kinston, which is pretty cool. I'll do a video on that at some point as well. But when it ran aground, it was destroyed by the Confederate Navy itself to prevent it being captured, because obviously it was loaded with guns and ammo and whatnot. But other than that, obviously there's a lot of animals to see here, and really nice walking trails, as hopefully you have seen in this section of the video. So yeah, you can see possums, raccoons, foxes, squirrels. Allegedly you can see river otters and muskrats. I've never seen them there, but there's a lot of life there, and apparently you can also sometimes see copperheads, which I have never seen any, and I'm okay with that. But yeah, that's the park. Hopefully you enjoyed this little glance at some of the trails. And yeah, if you've watched, thank you very much for watching. As always, a very special thank you to all of my patrons. I really appreciate it. That's a nice house. I really appreciate you all sticking with the channel and supporting it, and you know, voting on videos when I have a dilemma to which one to release and stuff. So, which is also a good thing that I have more early release videos getting queued up. I'm really working extremely hard to get those up there. So, and I know some people, you know, have messaged me and appreciate that. So I appreciate you letting me know that you appreciate that, because it's important for me to know. And yeah, that's it. Until next time, thank you again for watching. Adios. Outro crew. I have a question from Toaster. She has one prepared. She's going to relay it to me and I will repeat it to you. So Toaster, take it away when you're ready. Okay, so outro crew. Right, and I'll give you a bit of background where this question's coming from. Right now, oh, they need background. Come up here beside me. So yeah, today Toaster, as you can see, is wearing green pants, and under her jacket she's wearing a black t-shirt, right? What I also put on, because it's what I had available, was a black t-shirt and green pants. So we are wearing matching outfits. So her question was, would you, the viewers, watch more of the videos or prefer watching the videos if we wore matching outfits going forward? This is one of life's big questions here, so please make sure you answer as honestly as you can. And yeah, thanks outro crew. Bye outro crew. We are also wearing matching neck scarves. I can add that in. Oh well, I can add that in now. I've already turned off the front camera, but yeah, as an aside, we are also both wearing matching Itchy Boots neck scarves. We really went the whole hog today for this video. Alright, actually bye outro crew. See you all next time. That's my dream house. Yeah, that is perfection right there. Yeah, that's a barndominium. Magnificent. Magnificent.